Hey guys, welcome back to another DK podcast. It's your homegirl Joey. Welcome back for the second half of episode number 29, which is 29.2, with my homeboy Clay Moorefield. Let's jump right into it and finish it out strong. So you guys have been here for how long?
November be the ninth year.
Yep.
Ninth year.
Yep.
9 years, man. A great 9 years. And a great experience with O. Like for people that don't know, like this guy's mind never stops working.
Right.
Like idea after idea. And the things y'all see us collaborate on are things that we agreed on.
Mm-hmm.
That agreed to collaborate on. But a lot of things y'all see him do by himself is a lot of things that I was just like, I didn't really see it, but he's seen it.
Right.
So an amazing mind, and I'm happy that that's my partner because
For
there's
sure.
so much benefit that we get from each other.
For sure. So tell me some of the stuff that you got going on outside of the club.
So, the main things outside the club, I had a couple clothing lines, like I got the sweats on today, a line called Success Driven, another line called Skin Deep, SKNDP. That's more of the female line, and a Success Driven is more unisex, sweats, hoodies, leggings, workout sets, t-shirts, and stuff like that. And the Skin Deep company, the one I was talking about in the introduction.
Mm-hmm.
So those are pretty much the things outside of. But other than that, just family man, father. Like my days are pretty much structured out a specific way.
Uh-huh.
And I'm saying that because when I was in prison, right, I never got a write-up. And anybody that knows you've been in jail that long, 11 years, like it's very hard to not get a write-up.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I could see why was because I had structure.
Right.
So from that point on, I made sure that I had structure in my life outside of prison. Because it's like, how are you going to be a productive member of society, but you keep going back to prison? You keep committing crimes. And you want to be this guy that wants people to change the way the path of their family is going and this positive person, but yet and still you're making all these crazy mistakes, right? So it was I just got to structure my life, and it's home, it's work, and that's pretty much almost everything.
Did you have to, because you said you had a child while you were incarcerated, right? So coming home, how was it, rebuilt in that relationship? If it is, rebuilt, or if you're still in the process of doing it?
It's built. It's rebuilt. My son was 5.
Mm-hmm.
My son was 5 when I went in first. My daughter was about to be born.
Okay.
She was born, I went in a month before September 11th.
Okay.
And she was born December. So October, November, September, October, 3 months afterwards.
Okay.
December 11th, right?
Oh.
So, yes, wow. So that was trying. Me and my son, it wasn't really hard to get back into his life when I came home because we were so tight.
Mm-hmm.
And his mom made sure that he went around my mom when I was going and stuff like that. But when my daughter was born, I might have seen her a couple times in prison. Then I didn't see her anymore. Mm-hmm. So then coming home and her being a part of a family, her mom had gotten married when I was gone. So she's actually a part of a family. So now it's like, your dad, this is your dad here. So like she don't know me.
Right.
Right. So like that was rough. And then by the time I got some trust and built a relationship with her, I went back in.
Oh.
Right. And this is where I really had that moment where it's like, dude, you got to get it together.
Yeah.
Right. Because I catch the case and I'm out on bond or whatever. So when it was time for me to go in, I wasn't man enough to tell my kids I was about to go back to jail. Right. My son knew because his mom thought I wasn't coming out.
Okay.
Right. So his mom kind of told him it destroyed my son. She said he cried and all that, but I get out the next day on bond.
Okay.
So I go kick it with him, whatever. So everything's cool. So I'm out for almost a year fighting the case.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to go to jail like on Monday. I told them on Saturday. Right. And I was afraid more to tell my daughter, right? Because I'm like, how am I going to tell this little girl that I have to fight to get back into her life that I'm going to be gone?
Right.
Right. So when I told her, she just was like, no. Like I'm saying no because I just don't want to do the voice that she made, but she's like crushed. So by the time when she stops, now my soul's ripped in half now, right? So I'm looking at her. And I'm like, are you okay? And she looked at Clay, that's my son. And Clay was like, I looked back at her, she was like, I'm okay. They gave me a hug. They walked out the room. Let me tell you, I cried for 3 days.
I believe it.
Non-stop. Like when I'm telling you, like just laying in bed and just start busting out. This not just no tears. Like I'm like, like
right.
I'm panting.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm like, wow, like I done this to this little girl that like really like worships the ground I
Yeah.
walk on right now.
Yeah.
Right. So going back in, it got strained again. Right. Because I'm not there. So now I'm not going to see her.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would do is I would write her a letter and send a card
Mm-hmm.
every single week. So one day she'll get a letter, another day she'll get a letter and a card. So coming home, I'm trying to, you know, work back with her. And now she's at a point she's possibly maybe 12.
Okay.
So she has a little resentment,
Mm-hmm.
and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Right? I think a lot of times us as parents, men and women, I think a lot of times we don't think that our kids are allowed to harbor certain type of feelings towards us, and they have the right to based off of what was done to them.
Yes.
Right. And they have the right to allow those feelings to run their course. And we got to be patient with that and allow them to let their feelings run their course.
Absolutely.
Because when we're upset with somebody, we want somebody to just let us do us. So,
Yep.
you know, these are people that we say we love more than life.
Yep.
So we got to allow them to let their feelings run their course. So to make a long story short, because that in itself I could talk about that for a few hours without you even interrupting.
Right.
Just the whole process. And honestly, people ask me like, what is the most challenging thing in my life? That is the most challenging thing in my life, having to get back into the life, because I didn't know how to handle rejection from a kid. Mm-hmm. My kid. Mm-hmm. My blood's in there.
Yeah.
Like, we connect. Like, yes. You know how we ride?
Yes.
So I'm just like, this is rough for me.
Yeah.
Right? But I never stopped. So even when I'm texting and she's not, I'm still texting.
Right.
Nonstop. Programs at school, I'm not invited, I'm still going.
Right.
You don't got to even see me, but I'm there.
Yeah.
And I'll leave some flowers or something and a card just to let her know she was there.
Yeah.
Let her know I was there.
Yeah.
So that was hard. And then little situation happened because they ended up moving to Maryland when she got in high school.
Okay.
But I would drive down there twice a month just, you know, to kick it. But it took a while for us to actually even like start building. But now communication's crazy. We talk and text every single day. So it's just like, once she start giving me a little bit, the momentum just picked up on both of our ends. And there was those little moments because, you know, she's going to still have flash. Is he going to leave again? Yeah. Right? Because what I think I was failing to realize was she's traumatized.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So I just had to work with that. But for all men, don't stop. Don't stop. Don't use the women who you might claim is holding the kids from you a reason for you to stop. Don't stop. The kids need you. Even if it's not one household, still be active because your presence means a lot. And I'm telling you this from firsthand experience. So so that was pretty much it. Me and my son, everything kind of fell right in line. Well, every now and then a little spat, but he ended up living with me for a period of time once he got out of high school. Okay. So he lived with me for 2 years. I had a house in Penn Hills. He lived with me for a couple of years. And then once I sold that, at that point, he had a job that was gainful. So he was able to move out on his own. Mm-hmm. But getting random text messages like, Dad, I'm so thankful that I was able to be there. And you show me what it was like being a man. He seen me get up at 4 a.m. He seen me come home at 9 at night. He seen me cook and shop for both of us. He seen like how the house was. Right. And the structure was. And I had to like talk to him about certain things. There was rules in the house. Right. You know what I mean? So like there were times where we had to have like really uncomfortable conversations. And one thing I can say about all my kids, like they're okay with having those uncomfortable conversations because when it's their time to speak, I allow them to speak. Yep. Right? It's never just overpowering. When I'm talking, I'm letting you know what I see and how I see it. And when it's your turn to talk, I'm going to be quiet and see how you see it. So yeah, they motivate me.
So, okay, being that now you have, would you say a 5-year-old?
A 5-year-old.
So how does that feel to actually be there through, you know, watching him grow and everything?
It's wild because where we at right now is what I miss with my son. Right. He just started kindergarten. I went in right before my son was about to start kindergarten. Okay. So like I'm literally like in that exact phase. Right. So I'm 48 now, so I had him at 43. Being established, being legit, being grown, being a real man right now, there were things that I noticed that I wouldn't have noticed before, right? So like when he was younger, I would hold him and he would just pat me on the back. I wouldn't have noticed that at 19. Right. How are you going to notice that at 19 when you go outside your house, you don't know if you're going to die. Right. Right. You're in survival mode. Yeah. So it's almost like, how are you going to notice those things? So there's like little photos I got where he might be laying across my lap and he grabs my finger and just holds my finger. I take a picture of it. Yeah. Like little stuff like that is what I notice it now. I would have never noticed that then. Yeah. So that, our relationship, the way he talked to me, the way I talked to him, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. All he says is daddy. All the daddy, daddy, daddy. And I don't think none of my kids ever done that.
Okay.
Right. And me and my son, like I said, I was there for his first 5 years before I went away for 7. Like out of the 9, I had to do 7 years. But that first 5 years, whatever we built there was our foundation. So no matter what was going on, that was solid. So even like if I call home and he got in trouble in school, his mom will say, "I'm telling your dad," he'll fall apart.
Yeah.
Like, don't tell my dad. And then when he gets on the phone, I'm like, dude, calm down, man. She's just telling me what happened. All right, what happened? This is at 6, 7 years old. I'm allowing him to say his piece.
Yeah.
And this is from a jail phone. So he always was able to communicate. So like that was always cool. But yeah, it's a big difference. Just being present, like being emotionally present, being mentally present outside of being physically present. So it's a big difference.
Okay. I can totally agree. Like I can totally agree about being present. I haven't been away from neither one of my children, but I just know how important it is to have that relationship with them. And I agree with you as far as giving them a voice, giving them the opportunity to speak. Because I don't know how your parents was, but my mom wasn't with that. You can't say nothing. It's what I say, and that's what goes. Like so that I feel like it's very important. Okay, so with all of that said,
hold on before you, because I want to ask you a question.
Okay,
right? Because there's many times when we're talking about traumas. Right. I'm a very big advocate for mental health therapy. Right. And there's many times when we're talking about incarceration, we're talking about criminal activity, we always wonder how the men are doing, how the men are feeling. Right. But my question is, how are the women feeling? How are y'all feeling? Because y'all were with us. Y'all were with us in the streets. All of y'all just weren't selling drugs.
Right.
Right. But y'all were right there. Y'all seen the deaths that we've seen. Y'all went to the funerals and the wakes that we've seen. Y'all might have seen more because women had access to go to other neighborhoods and hang out in other neighborhoods with other guys. So I always wonder why emphasis isn't put on women's mental health, the trauma from the street life, but they mainly only talk about it to men.
Well, that's kind of why I started my nonprofit, because I always seen how there was like outlets for the men to be able to express how they felt or get the, like you said, the mental health that they needed. And I never really seen anybody deal with the women who were incarcerated, or like you said, the women who were the other side of the men that were incarcerated. So I started my nonprofit for that reason, for single Black mothers or anybody. I don't want to discriminate anyone, but I'm Black. So, but single Black mothers who were incarcerated or who were previously incarcerated to, help them get established, because it is trauma. It definitely is trauma. I didn't have my children when I went to jail, but when I came home, I definitely felt the pressure. I felt the pressure of having a felony and maybe the idea of never getting a decent job. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be stuck to a fast food industry or, something that I knew, I don't want to say was beneath me, but I knew I was smarter to have. So, finding out that I could be a federal employee, that blew my mind. With a felony, that blew my mind. And I didn't know that. And I know other people didn't know that either. So, when they see me, they wouldn't know that I went to prison. And when I say, I did time, and they're like, and you work for the post office? Like, you have a federal job? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And, the only way we would know about it is to have a conversation. So I feel like, knowledge is everything. So starting this organization gives me the opportunity to pass on the knowledge that I have learned through over the years, to help people with felonies, women, to be able to build a solid foundation and to help their children, because it's a community thing. It's a village type situation. So yes, like trauma, absolutely, without a doubt, but we have to move through it, navigate it through it pretty much the same way you guys do, maybe a little bit different. Find your faith base. I'm Christian, you're Muslim, but we all believe in one God. So find your faith base and, pray. That's very important. Pray to whoever it is that gives you the strength to get up every day, to go to work every day, to take care of your children every day, to build your household, to help your community every day. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to go out there and take a chance. So that's basically why I started my organization.
And something you said that kind of caught me was help your community, right? And I want everybody to know, like, the reason that when I was starting my company, GOALS is an acronym that stands for Get on a Lifetime System. I just really believe that whenever we're doing something, when we start looking at it in a long perspective, right, down the road, as opposed to instant gratification, we'll actually start understanding that there are short-term goals that go along with the long-term goals, right? So with health, if a person's goal is to live healthy, you got to stay healthy as long as you're alive. So it'll be easier for you to find an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever it is you choose to do per week to stay healthy. It'll be easier for you to do, as opposed to you feeling that you only need to get into a wedding dress or you want to look snatched on a vacation. Like, your kids are watching you. Right. There's other people that are watching. Your family's watching you. So I did so much destruction in the community. My thing was to give back, and there was no bigger impact for me through health, right? Because now it's like, and there's a lot more. You know, anybody that's ever come to Club Elevation know it's just more than just health. Like, there's a lot of mental things that go along with it. There's a lot of social engagement that you get by having group. We do groups. So I've seen groups that I have hang out now. They're great friends. I've seen relationships and marriages happen through here. Like, I've seen so much happen through health and wellness. So that's why I'm like a really big advocate on, when you understand the importance of it in your life, it opens up avenues outside of just that. So, that was the main thing, was to just give back to the communities that I was destroying. Myself and we've been a part of a bunch of programs that was dealing with churches on the Hill District. We did things in home with Lincoln. Like, we did boot camps up Lincoln. Like, we were very connected to the inner city, and we train kids. Like, we're very big on that. And one thing I'm going to say, right, I've seen kids that will walk past the gym and come in here, and prior to engaging, and O does this way more than I do this. Prior to engaging with O, they would come in, try to work out. I would have to like, yo, y'all can. Then like they're like giving me a little bit of lip about it. 6 months later, Mr. Clay, yes sir, from dealing with OJ, like, because he took him in, right? So the benefit of kids seeing positive men is there's no price that could get put on that, right? Because I would have loved, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, right? I had my oldest brother. My oldest brother just retired from the Pentagon, had some of the highest honors in the Pentagon, radar engineer. This the guy they're talking about sending people out the country to represent the United States. He was one of them, right? But he's not the person I looked up to. I looked at all my brothers that was underneath him because they were around. When I was born, he went to college, but I knew. Right. And anytime he came home, it was an event. But all right, it's an event. It's almost like Christmas. It's one time a year. It's Easter. It's one time a year. It's your birthday. It's one time a year. But I'm seeing more negativity than positivity. Right. So I never had that one person that was like a really big positive role model in my life. So it's very important for individuals to see positive males.
Absolutely.
And I really think that us as parents, aside from ourselves, I think we need to have our kids around other positive men and women. Right. Because there's so much, especially with social media. Like, I didn't grow up with social media, so the effects that it have on a lot of people, I'm kind of immune to it, right? Because I come from a time where you really had to be somebody. You couldn't just create a social media page and get 50,000 followers and people know you and call you by that. You had to really be known. Like, you had to really be in the trenches and out and rubbing shoulders with people in the clubs and stuff like that. So you really had to be somebody. So much negativity got so much access to our children. Right. And the only way to combat it is inside the house, first and foremost. You know what I mean? So many of us talk about changing the trajectory of society. It got to start with your house. If everybody focus on making your house better, then we'll start having better communities, and then we'll start having better society. But until we are able to focus on the house, then a lot of things are going to be in disarray. We can't make excuses about some of the things that were excuses before. We got to start taking accountability in the choices that we make. Like, I'm really, really big on that, because no matter what, there were similar guys that came from Hazelwood at the same time as me. Many of them died, and there was a handful of them that didn't choose the streets, and them guys are successful businessmen nowadays.
Right.
So it's possible.
Absolutely.
Right? It was possible, but the majority of them had a mom and a dad in the house. Right. So there was a different dynamic that they had, but nonetheless, it all comes down to choices, because they walked through the same strip. They went through the same schools. They were around the same stuff.
That's what I was telling OJ. I was telling OJ that what I love about this club is that, you come in here and it's family oriented. You know what I mean? Like, at least for me, my experience, no matter what time I come in here, it's like working with my brothers, working with my sisters. They're giving me positive feedback. They're making me want to push harder. Even working with you, I worked out with you a few times whenever OJ wasn't here, or if I wanted that extra, I'll be like, hey, can I work out with you? You're like, yeah. So I love the fact be able to bring my children in here and you guys interacting with the children. Like, I just love that whole dynamic of the club. Like, it just doesn't get any better. You can't get this at Planet Fitness or any other place. Like, you can only get it here.
No, for
And
sure.
it's a black owned business, and you can't beat that.
And it's a part of the culture. Like, when we were actually creating it, like, OJ has a specific character and I have a specific character, but the gym has the same energy.
Yes.
Right. No matter who you train at what time you come in, the energy is going to be great at 5 a.m. The energy is going to be great at 9 a.m. The energy is going to be great at 7 p.m.
Yep.
Like, the energy has to be the energy. I was asked before, how do I separate when I'm having bad days and not allowed to be seen in the gym?
Mm-hmm.
It's easy, because the gym has a culture.
Yes.
And I'm one of the people that help create that culture.
Mm-hmm.
So how can I take out on the individuals who has nothing to do with maybe going on with me? How can I take it out on them? So I literally, once the door shuts, it stays at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And sometimes it jumps on my back when I walk out the door, when I leave at night. And sometimes my clients help me.
Right.
Like, sometimes that energy rubs off on me, and it makes my day better. Right.
Yeah.
Because there's so many times that the trainer gets saluted and shouted out and bigged up for helping people, self-esteem raise, the body transformation, all this extra stuff. But at the same time, there are people that have the same impact on us, because we're human.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We go through things where when we see a death of a black man, we're black men.
Yeah.
Right. And also, one thing I want to shout the women out for that train with us, right, is understanding that no matter what you may have went through with a black man, you don't treat us like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really respect that. And I hope that we're giving you a positive example on what black men are supposed to be and act like and treat women.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because we are dealing with a demographic that have dealt with and been cheated on and all these other things from men.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm a black man. So when you come in, you're seeing a black man. So you may come in defensive, and then you start seeing, oh, this is a little different. He talks to me a little different. He treats me a little different. Yeah, we're not all the same. Yep. So I hope that we're all able to help each other start getting rid of a lot of these stereotypes that's put on us, and start really growing and start healing together. Yeah. Because we've all been through things that make us act how we act, right? But the only way to get better is to face those things head on and allow those things to get out of our system. Because as long as we're holding on to it, we're going to continue to connect with people that has the same traumas, and all we're going to be doing is trauma bonding. Mm-hmm. So one thing about the gym, everybody's on a similar mission. So we're all improving our confidence, improving our self-esteem. So it's a different type of people that you're dealing with. Like, it's a different support system. It's a positive support system. So you're coming into an environment that's positive and not nothing negative. So it's not the same person saying, yeah, girl, F him. Yeah, no, we in here, the music's loud, we yelling, everybody's flouting each other up. Yeah. So it just shows you how people are really supposed to interact with each other. All different ethnicities. Yep. No big I's, no little U's, no name calling. Respect is very, very big here. And thank y'all. I just want to thank everybody that rocks with us, been rocking with us, because I've been training some individuals for 11 years, mm-hmm. and I'm pretty sure Owen training some people since he started. Right. And then there's many people that have been here since we opened this facility, and it's amazing. Yeah. Like, it's really amazing, man, to actually see what health and wellness how it actually can heal society.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Clay. I really appreciate you coming through and sitting with me. Let me come sit with you in your facility, and giving my audience a clear view on who you are and what you do and what you bring to the city of Pittsburgh, because what you and O do is amazing. It is amazing, and there's not too many people out here that do what you two do.
No, thank you for doing it, for asking me to do this, because I respect you a lot. The type of woman that when you said you went to prison, it like blew me away. Right? But it's the same way when I tell people I'm in prison, like, how? Right. Like, you don't act like that. Excuse me. You don't talk like the normal guys that we, know that was guys that was in the streets. So that just completely shocked me. I might not have seen it on camera, but inside I was like, whoa, I was taken aback. But one thing I want us all to understand is that there are some people in life that put us in positions, right? And you put me in position, right? By coming here and doing this podcast with me, by reaching more people. I'm very particular on what I share with people, but who you are, I was comfortable, right? That's number one. So I came in without being defensive at all. And, Club Elevation got its own day in December, right? And it came from a woman, Miss Kim Baskins. Like, she was training with me, and then she seen the environment, the me and Owen, she took our names and took it down to the city council, the city county, whatever building. And at Gainey, we got proclamations from the city and the state, both of us. We've got awards, we got trainers of the year, but all of this came from the individuals, right? Because we've been doing this for 10, we've been doing this for 10, him 10, I'm 11. And up until 2 years ago, I never was trainer of the year. Up until 3 years ago, he was never trainer of the year. So it's just understanding that there are some people that you're going to rub shoulders with in life. Everybody's not expendable. There are some people, we got to start understanding the value of people, right? Don't look at, because you don't know. You might look at a young person and kind of brush them off, and this person might have the biggest tech company in the world at some point, and you may miss out on an opportunity because you chose to snub that individual.
Right.
So let's just all start treating each other the way we really want to be treated, and start building relationships, man, and start building a real positive community, because it starts with one person, right? But if you could touch that one person, there's no telling on how far the reach could go from that point. So just value your relationships and don't take them for granted.
I couldn't have said it any better. Well, guys, we're going to wrap this up. I thank you so much for sitting with us. And I hope you got as many jewels as I got out of Clay. And I hope that he, gave you a perspective that you've never even seen before. Thank you so much. And we'll see you on the next podcast. Have a good evening. Hey guys, this concludes episode 29, which is episode 29.2 with my homeboy, my family, Clay Moorefield. Clay, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to sit down and listen to your journey. Brother, you are so powerful and your journey is so strong that I ask you to just continue blessing the city of Pittsburgh with all your wisdom and your guidance with health, wealth, and anything else that we may need. We thank you so much to our audience for stopping by, because I'm sure you got everything you needed out of this episode. It was one of the most powerful episodes that I've done thus far. Thank you. Be safe. God bless. And we'll see you next week for episode 30. Peace.